Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Taking Care of Business, where we talk about how leaders are shaping tomorrow's headlines with the decisions that they make today. Now, today's story caught my attention a little more than it probably would have done if I hadn't been deep diving into the founder of Antaros, James Gerard's Instagram lately. He talks a lot about the property market, very practical, very no nonsense kind of stuff. I also had a mentorship call with him earlier this week, and we went through what exactly to look for when buying a property. So when I saw this headline, I stopped scrolling. Santander has launched a mortgage that lets first-time buyers borrow up to 98% of a property's value. And in a world where the average first-time buyer deposit is now around £85,000, that's a big, bold move. They're calling it My First Mortgage, and the headline offer is pretty straightforward. Minimum deposit £10,000, borrowing up to £500,000, no arrangement fee, and it's 5.19% fixed for 5 years. It's houses only, not flats, which honestly I don't think is a bad thing because flats come with all sorts of hidden costs that can really trip buyers up. The product excludes Northern Ireland too. And borrowing maxes out at 4.45 times your income, which will probably filter out a lot of applicants. Santander's own analysis suggests that dropping the deposit down to £10,000 could shave about 4 years off the saving time for average first-time buyers. And the 5-year fix means that you've got a stable runway. Make your repayments, throw in an occasional overpayment, and by year 5, you're likely sitting in a healthier loan-to-value band with better rates on the table. But here's where I want to shift the focus. Why is Santander doing this? Now, it's certainly not generosity, so it must be strategy. Evidence suggests that the first-time buyer market is one of the few parts of the mortgage sector that's alive and moving. Lipton is out with its track record mortgage. Barclays is leaning on the bank of mum and dad, and Yorkshire Building Society is pushing £5,000 deposit deals. Competition is really heating up, and Santander, being one of the bigger players, cannot sit still while challenger brands become the go-to for young buyers. More importantly, Santander knows something fundamental. Affordability isn't the barrier anymore, liquidity is. Now, people can make repayments, they just can't save £85,000 while paying rent. If Santander can be the lender that removes that barrier, they win the long-term customer at the start of their financial life cycle. Think mortgages, remortgages, insurance, investment products, all of that. This is consumer acquisition disguised as innovation. So no, this isn't going to fix the housing crisis. And also, it's not going to magically make the property market accessible to everyone. But for some people, maybe like you, it could move the timeline from one day to now. And what stands out here isn't the rates or the branding, it's the fact that Santander wants to own the entry point into the property market. They want to be the first time buyer lender. And this product is their way of staking that claim. So if you're thinking about buying, or if you're just curious about how the market's evolving, this is definitely one to keep an eye on. And that's it for this episode of Taking Care of Business, and we'll see you back again here next time.